business to start with. Hello, Yellow. Khanet?
All right.
Good, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
Fantastic. Guys, how goes the Wednesday amongst everything that's happening today? Are you both well?
Besides hot, yes, we good. We good.
Besides hot Valentine's Day. Kelly, I don't know if you got a gift this morning. Was there anything surprising that happened?
Yes, we also just one nice cute
Oh,
chocolate.
I love it. Now,
But
guys,
just
thank you
having
so much.
human experience is good.
Yeah, I love that. Every day should be Valentine's Day. Guys, thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us in studio this morning. We're talking about your business. Now, let's go back to sort of where it all began. I think starting any sort of business or offering any type of service it can be quite risky. Entrepreneurship on its own is quite risky. But why did you guys decide to start? What was your motivation? What encouraged you to just start somewhere?
So when I was facilitating a child in special needs, so
Yeah.
that kind of ignited that little bit of passion. And I always told myself one day I will be able to open up my own early intervention school because there's very little schools for our special needs learners.
Mm.
And I found that my passion grew as I got to know more about my kids. And then I did everything from like creche work into special needs work into mainstream classes. And I found that my heart was kind of settled in the special needs environment. And I knew that there was a need for intervention. And then that kind of like set my heart on just trying my best to be there for the kids that I work with. And then I told myself one day I will be able to open up something that will provide support for our parents and provide support for our kids.
Mm.
And then later on, my idea was to have the world become more aware of our kids and how to appreciate them. And so it kind of started there. And once I started studying, I realized that this is actually achievable
Mm.
and that I know it's not, Rome wasn't built over one night. So I know it's going to be hard work. We're still in the process of everything, but
Yeah.
finding Shane
Got
with
its
a,
ups and downs.
yeah, finding Shane with a similar goal alignment, that helped a lot, definitely. And so we just chatted one day and then we said, okay, let's try. And that's so we're using our strengths and
Yeah.
contributing to the community.
To help others and parents in need.
Before I just sort of touch on, the rewarding part, you guys are a married couple. I mean, what are there challenges with working together, or do the positives outweigh the challenges?
Oh, yeah, that's a question.
Yeah.
Well, it has its ups and downs, like I said, but at
Hmm.
the end of the day, we come together and we speak it out and sort everything out.
Yeah,
Everything's got a path.
Yeah, it's
of
important to
course.
keep business and personal life apart, if I could put it that way. There's a fine line, and it has been quite difficult in the start of our whole business and that, but
Mm.
now I think we kind of got a good idea. We'll bounce ideas off from each other, and there are disagreements, but at the end of the day, it ultimately comes down to what is best for our child.
Mm.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, we go back to the drawing board and then bring in some of our friends that maybe have suggestions that could help us. And then we'll go back to the drawing board again and then come back to each other and say, okay, so this is what we're doing. And
Mm.
we'll communicate it with our parents. And if they're fine with it, we go with it and it works. Like I would say 99% of the time we've had that
Yeah,
a good success.
yes, and it's always like we always put our best foot forward. There isn't of how do I say we're not gonna just leave you in the dust. We make sure we help you. We always got the way out.
Love that you've got the practical examples that you made there. If you've just tuned in, I'm chatting to Shane and Kellie Bennet. Now they've got a business and they are offering tutoring services to all learners in mainstream or special needs school. Guys, let's talk about the positive part of all of this. I know that there's something that you could always walk away from, or walk away with rather. What has been the most rewarding part of your job as tutors?
Well, to me, the most rewarding part is just seeing the child's success of the intervention and making sure that the child can cope on his or own, and just knowing that I was part of that child's development towards wherever he or she wants to be. And anything you want to say?
I think for me, if I can just give an example, it is having a not yet verbal learner become verbal through your intervention. A lot of people put my special kids down, and they always, or society deems it as they won't become anything. And I get to see it every single day that my kids are progressing. It might not be the big steps that the world wants, but it's big steps in their life, and their family can see that. And just having them smile and understand and be present with me in that moment while I'm teaching them, that is the most rewarding, because you can see your child is grasping what you're trying to teach them, and having their emotions come out. It's very rare that I have my kids' emotions come out, and when it does, we just share that moment. And while you're in that moment, nothing else in this world matters. And then you give that feedback back to the parents, and the parents is like, I'm so grateful that my child was able to express him or herself with you. And going through that process with him, I mean, it's from the first moment we meet him, we have an initial meeting with the parents and the child,
Mm.
and just trying to form that little bit of a bond. It's not just about academics for us, and it's about having that emotional support, which sometimes gets overlooked in this industry nowadays.
True.
And seeing that the child is understanding and being with you, that is kind of what's rewarding for us.
Mm.
On the various services that you have on offer. I know tutoring is obviously, it's a collective. There's various services that are on offer, but in yours in particular, who do you talk to? Who is your target market, as it were?
Well, target market wise, I do all grades
Mm-hmm.
from R to 12. And what I off on my side, I offer is, as you know, normal tutoring, scribing, and facilitation is the other thing that I do. So it's one-on-one work with children, and the scribing is when you help them out with the, if children's got concessions for like reading, writing, and those things during exams, and I do that as well, and I sit next to them and make sure they focus and everything. And yeah, and your side?
So for me, it's not just about the tutoring, as we did say. I do offer home support. I go into the homes, allow the parents to explain what they're experiencing, and I offer that home support. So that could vary anywhere from creating a social story for the child to cope over certain situations, or just providing a visual structure. There's also behavioral support. So a lot of people have this association that behavior is like kicking and screaming, but
Mm.
there's with special needs, it comes under a different kind of umbrella. So we offer behavior support in that way. Then there's obviously the one-on-one tuition and also group play, because social skills is something that majority of our learners do need facilitation through. So then meeting up with friends that is similar or else going through the same path as
Mm.
that child. So then I'll offer like group sessions, playing sessions, and then also just being that emotional support for the family members, and having the family members understand where the family member is at and where we could take them, but also allowing them to be in that moment and present and accept their child.
Mm.
And once there's acceptance, I have personally seen that the child flourishes.
Yeah.
You mentioned home support. My next question is around sort of where the lessons happen. So, do you have a center that you provide, or do you go into the different homes to offer these services? How does it work?
Well, that depends on the parents' specification, I would say. If the parent wants you to do it at the school, I can go to the school. I can come into we can come into their homes, or we do have a Pinelands hub. I would say that we work out of on weekends for tutoring and other schooling related things. But yes, so like I said, it's up to the parents if it's at the school, at the home, and yeah, the Pinelands hub that we have.
To get a hold of you, especially as we've obviously just reopened with schools. Where do they find you? Online, contact details, how does it work?
So we have a Facebook page called Bennet Tutoring. It's BENNETT, comma S, and tutoring obviously. And then we also have our cell numbers, which have also doubled as our working numbers. So my number is 0836412391, and then Shane's is 084635.
Oh wait, three.
Sorry, 0836357091.
And email as well.
That's bennettstutoring22@gmail.com.
There we go.
Hi, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you?
All right. Yes, there was a bit of a delay there. I just wanted the numbers for someone that has missed it. Just both your contact details again, please.
Okay, so it's 083
Mm-hmm.
641
Yeah,
2391.
fantastic.
And then Shane's is 083
Mm-hmm.
635 7091.
There we go.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, for that. And bless your business, and
Thank
bless your
you.
ministry and your passion. I cannot imagine that it's easy, but you've obviously been placed in this path to impact lives, more than one life. And so may God just take you from, different steps and elevation and growth in your business.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us
so
also.
much.
It's a
Thank you for
pleasure.
joining us. Bless you both. Keep well.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well, there you